like just in a superficial way, what society is, what culture is. It is said that culture began when man was able to make tools. So when did culture begin? When man was able to make tools and he was passing those to next generation. Similarly, civilization. When did civilization begin? With the invention of alphabets, writing. Writing is one of the most crystallized form of expression. That is the reason why like nearly 90% of the weightage in UPSC preparation, UPSC selection process is on writing. It's one of the most crystallized form of writing. See, there is a great epoch which is starting after the invention of letters, alphabets, writing. Before that, the things were entirely different. So why I am stressing on this point is, you should be concentrating on writing. So in civil service examination, there are two things. One is input and another is output. So what is the input? You should be reading good, better comprehension. If you don't have better comprehension, you may not be finishing, especially the GS papers. If you think of even the mains, ethics paper is lengthy. One of the reason is case studies. If you are not able to comprehend, the questions becomes difficult. On the other hand, writing, output. You should be writing daily. So here, to begin with, don't think of writing too much. Just start writing a para, summing up the things what you have read. So coming back to anthropology, when did civilization start? After the invention of alphabets or writing. When did the culture start? When tool tradition, tools were discovered. So in the same line, after that, culture and society, we have got yet another important one, marriage. So just concentrate on the keywords: definition, laws, types, functions, regulations or rules or payments. These are pretty easy. So let me explain these things as it is in the syllabus. So definition of marriage, we'll do that, and universality. I will explain the things in brief first, afterwards we will go in depth. So there is always a definition for marriage, but there is no universal definition for marriage. So please concentrate here. Marriage is universal. First concept. Marriage is universal. What does that mean? Present in all societies. But there is no universal definition for marriage. Is the point clear to you? Marriage is universal, but there is no universal definition. For many reasons, we'll get into that. Next is laws of marriage. So here you have got endogamy, exogamy, hypergamy, hypogamy, incest taboo. Very simple one. Endo means within, exo means outside. If some law says that you should marry within some group, say for example caste, are we marrying within our caste? Are we marrying or not? Generally. So here endogamy. If you go to northern part of India, there we have got village exogamy. Mean to say that one cannot marry anyone within the village. Clear? What is this? Endogamy means within. Exo means outside. So that may be anything. Caste endogamy means within the caste. Clan endogamy or religion endogamy means within that. Exogamy means outside. Right? Hypergamy. So what is you understand by hyper? Hypersensitive. Over. So hypergamy. When a girl, when a female marries a person who is above in social strata. Hyper, right? So hypergamy, marrying someone who is above you in the social structure. Then hypo means low. So marrying someone who is low in status is hypo. Then incest taboo. Incest means sexual relation between the kinmen, means those who are closely related by blood. Taboo means ban. So incest taboo means no marriage within the family or closely related bloodkins, right? Incest taboo. So these are the laws. So what are the laws? Endogamy. Endogamy means what? Inside. That may be anything. That may be a group. That may be a village. That may be a country. Within the country, if that is taken as criteria, endogamy. Within the village, like that. So what is exo? Outside. So what is hyper? A girl marrying someone above in social strata. What is hyper? Lower. So incest means no marriage within the close blood relatives. These are the laws. Is it difficult? It's easy. The examples you should be noting, we'll be doing that later. Then another type is marriage. What are the types? In this, monogamy. What is mono? Monochromatic light. What is the meaning of mono? One. Single. So monogamy means one marrying another. One person marrying another person, one to one. Then polygamy, polyandry. So polygamy means one boy, male, marrying many women. Polygamy. So you can think like anything like gammy, girl, or anything, like if you are getting confused. So polygamy means many wives. One marry many. So generally we find these things in Mohammedan religion, in Africa, in like Arab. So here polygamy. Then polyandry. Here one female marrying more than one man. So there are many tribes in northern part, in hilly areas, where this is prevalent, especially in hilly areas. And group marrying means here group of people, say for example group of sisters will be marrying group of brothers of other village or anyone. So this is group marriage. So just have the idea, because it needs repetition, then only you will understand the things. Then coming to the functions. So what are the functions marriage perform? So one of the most important function is like sexual function, biological function, economic function, social functions. Okay. Then marriage rules, prescriptive, preferential, proscriptive. So here you may be getting some doubt with respect to proscriptive. Proscriptive means which are prohibited. So incest taboo can be said as one which is prohibited. So preferential and prescriptive. So here preferential, generally in Hindu society, for a boy who is the prescribed girl to marry. If you think of southern part of India, mother's brother's daughter, cross cousins. So like generally sister's daughter, do you have that kind of culture in Andhra and Telangana? So there are some areas where they prescribe that you should be marrying that. Say for example, like my sister's daughter. So my sister was saying that you should be marrying. I did not marry. So she is angry. So these are the things. Some are preferential, means you have to marry this person, preference. Another is prescriptive, that you should be marrying them. And proscriptive means opposite. It's a simple generic meaning I am giving. After that, marriage payments, bride wealth and dowry. So here dowry is one which is like said to be a kind of payment where there create imbalance. Say what happens in dowry? Girl will be moving from girl's home to boy's home. So it is moving from, think that, in this direction. At the same time, girl's family is giving the money. So money is also moving in the same direction. Is the point clear to you? So here, okay. So here, say for example, girl's family. After marriage, she will be going to bridegroom's or the boy's family, right? Dowry, who is giving dowry? Once again, girl family. Here both the family, girl's family is losing both the girl and the money, right? On the other hand, bride wealth. So in this, okay, in this, the girl will be, so girl will be moving in one direction, but the wealth will be moving another direction. In bride wealth, a person who marry should be paying to the girl's family. Are these two concepts clear to you? Bride wealth. If someone is marrying a girl, then that person has to pay for the girl's family to compensate the loss of the girl. In case of dowry, in fact, the girl family will be giving. So this is it. This is one of the important chapter. Is it difficult? So here there is a little element with respect to difficulty, that is examples. For all these things, you should be remembering the example. They are pretty simple. Okay. So let us just think of marriage now. So how do marriages happen? What happens after marriage? Generally. So this is the way you should be learning. Say for example, think that I want to marry. So what is the way out generally? So think that in Hindu society we have got arranged marriage. So I'll be like reaching out to my relatives, my friends, right? So after that, think that I get married, right? So here in India we have got arranged marriage, that is one thing. Do we have the concept of dowry or bride payment, bride wealth? Dowry. Is dowry still prevalent in Telangana and Andhra? Still. So like of late, for the past 5 to 10 years, what I have heard is in parts of Karnataka and also Kerala from the very beginning, almost the concept of dowry has like been abolished. Constitution has abolished many of those things, but in practice also there is no concept. In fact, there is bride wealth happening in most part of the country. Okay, coming back to the thing. Think that I got married. Though then, what are the things which will be there? So one is the financial transactions we come across. Say for example, like coming to the other part, why most of the celebrities or very rich people often won't marry? They will be having long period before they get married. Why? Say for example, then next one, after marriage, if there is a divorce, there will be compensation, right? So without marriage it won't be. So marriage is involving not only the social things, the economic aspects also. So here marriage is a thing which is touching each and every aspect. Social, say for example, marriage will be marrying within the caste. So there will be payments, social, biological, cultural aspects are involved. So this is a general thing what we come across. So let us see how the things happen with respect to other communities. Okay. So this is a Bill community in Rajasthan, Bills of Rajasthan, a tribal community. So they are present in Rajasthan. So here how the marriages happen. So in Rajasthan, okay. So during Holi season, during Holi festival, there will be a pole. There will be a pole, or you can think of tree. So around this there will be two circles. One is the inner circle by young women, girls. The outer circle, boys. Right? During Holi festival, there will be a pole or a tree where they tie jaggery and coconut. Jaggery and coconut is tied. Young boys and girls, they will be dancing here. Inner circle of girls, outer circle of boys. So here, if any boy is able to resist the resistance of the girls and able to climb the tree or the pole and reach to the jaggery and the coconut. So you should reach, and afterwards you have to break open the coconut and eat. So jaggery and coconut. Then that individual can marry any of the girl who are present there. And from that time itself, they are like husband and wife from immediately. Immediate effect. This is the way marriage has happened. Have you heard of Swayamvaras previously? Is this example clear to you? So bills in Rajasthan, during Holi festival, young boys and girls, they circle round a tree or a pole, to the top of which they have tied jaggery and also coconut. So they will be dancing. Here boys should overcome the resistance. It's not that easy. When someone is trying to climb, these girls won't allow that boy. They'll be beating him with broomsticks. They'll be tearing his cloth. They'll be tearing his hairs. If he can resist that, and if he can climb, after that climbing, he has to eat the jaggery, break open the coconut and eat. Then he can marry anyone. After that, they are like almost husband and wife immediately. Then he will be having the right to select any one of the women dancers as his maid and take her away immediately. So, is this method fine, good, not good? So, this is the one happening in tribal societies. So, this you should be mentioning in exam. Not that marriage is something which is very, very important, very, very fundamental. You are all young boys and girls here. You shouldn't be taking any choice with respect to marriage. Boyfriend, girlfriend, usme to chalta hai. But marriage, you should be very, very careful. Once it's done forever. You cannot come out. It's not that easy as we think. See, you might have heard many celebrities, they will be in like marriage relation for 10 years, 15 years. After that, they get divorced. And that is also not that easy. It's very difficult. Once you marry, so by some or the other way, in 1 or 2 years, you'll be having babies. After that, you cannot separate. At least for the baby, you will be there. You might have heard always that in marriage, always there is quarrel. So here, very, very important that you select people who are compatible with you. So, who stand by you, who share your values. Prefer, coming to the point, values and other things apart from this. Preference, we prefer one over another. We prefer one over another with respect to many things. In marriage also we prefer one over another. So if preferences are based on liking, it is said to be interest. So the key term liking. Preferences, if they are based on liking, it is your interest. That is transient, short period. What you like today, you may not like tomorrow. What you used to like 10 years before, are the things same today? What we used to like when we were very young, say for example 3-4 years, what were the things we used to like? Chocolates, things like that. ఆల్మోస్ట్ చాక్లెట్ ఇచ్చేస్తే వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తే కూడా మనము చేసేదానికి రెడీ ఉండేవాళ్ళం. సో ఈజ్ దిస్ పాసిబుల్ నౌ? మీకు చాక్లెట్ ఇచ్చేసి ఏమైనా చేయొచ్చా? నో, బికాస్ యువర్ లైకింగ్ హ్యాస్ చేంజ్డ్. సిమిలర్లీ యువర్ లైకింగ్ విల్ చేంజ్ ఈవెన్ ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ ఆల్సో. And we prefer many things because they are important. That is said to be your values. So here preferences, okay. Preferences, if they are based on importance, they are said to be your values. Preferences which are based on liking, it is said to be interest. So you should choose the things based on importance because they are your values. Your values are relatively permanent. On the other hand, your liking and interest are transient. They may fade away, they may change. So you should be very cautious when you are making the decision of marriage, because if you go wrong, the whole life goes wrong. I have come across many people in this direction, IAS, IPS. There was some time before, there was a murder by a wife, her wife murdering a husband, that too not any ordinary one. He was at the top of the police department, DIG. It happened in Bangalore. Then just think, what is the way, what is the kind of life they might have felt? ఎలాగుండొచ్చు వాళ్ళు ఇన్నాళ్ళు? If a wife is thinking, and if a wife has killed someone, her husband, after like 30-40 years of marriage, how their marriage life would have been. So marriage is a very, very important aspect in the life of an individual, and that should be based on the values, not your likings and interest, because these things fade away as the things go. Okay. Then coming to the birds here, the Malabar grey hornbill. So these birds are said to be monogamous. So monogamous means one to one. So here this is the nest. These birds don't have the capacity to build the nest. So what they do, they find a like curvature or some hole in the tree, and they make a house like this, where the female bird will be laying eggs, 3 to 4 eggs. They cannot build the house, so they will go to some hole or some bark in the tree, and they will fix the opening. So opening will be only this much. Here female will be inside, laying the eggs and taking care of the eggs, and the male will be providing everything required for the baby and also the female bird. It's very interesting to know that, say this is a situation. If someone destroys the nest, the female and the younger one, the male won't eat. It will starve to death. Similarly, think something happens to the male, then there won't be anyone to feed. The female will starve and die. So this is a kind of bond. So here, like as you proceed, there will be things which are changing, but you should take the decision very, very cautiously. Once you get married, the things are done for you, right? So this is a very interesting story which is being given in your IGNO book, NCRT also. Okay. Okay. Definition, laws, types, function, rules, regulations. So here, next in that laws, you have got like marriage. Is marriage universal? Yes. Is the definition of marriage universal? No. That is the crux of that. Laws of marriage. Endo means within. Exo means outside. Hyper means above. So gamy he has come with respect to female. So hypo means low. So incest means not within the blood relatives. Types of marriage, mono means one to one. Polygamy means many with respect to husband or wife. Polygamy. So you can think like hypothetically G is there, girl. So many wives. So polygamy. Polyandry means many husbands. So group marriage. One group marrying the another group. So for example here there is a group of sisters, some 3, 4 or 5. There are group of boys. So they will be marrying. So that is like the whole is one. So they can have interaction with anyone in the group. Like that. Marriage regulation. Preferential means someone is preferred. So atta, mava, something like that, those kind of relations. So preferential. Then prescriptive and proscriptive. One which should not be done, one which should be done. Right? Marriage payments, bride wealth and dowry. This is it. This is about the chapter. Here you should be remembering the examples. Okay? So please go through these things once again and keep these things in mind once forever. Take 1 minute. అలాగే బైహార్ట్ చేసేయండి ఇక్కడే. This is the syllabus and this is everything. If you have completed like a very important aspect in your syllabus is over. So marriage ayin tarvata family. So that is our next chapter. Then kinship. That will be the next chapter. So after that I have told you society. If you want to analyze society, what are the 3 dimensions? Social, political, economical. So that are the next 3 chapters. So it will cover majority of the sections in paper 1. Okay. So moving forward. So this is a very important diagram which you shouldn't forget. So just take some 3 or 5 minutes and write down an important diagram. I will explain the terms, you just write down, write fast. So done with. Okay. Now just listen. Marriage, monogamy, right? Here polygamy. Mono means one, poly means many. So in monogamy you have got serial monogamy, non-serial monogamy. So serial means serial killer. What does it mean? One after the another. So here at any point of time, at a given point of time, there will be only one-to-one relation. One man, one woman, that's it. So here serial monogamy means in case of divorce, in case of death. So then that person will be marrying another woman. Clear? What is serial monogamy? If there is a death or any by other means, divorce or anything, he will be marrying another woman again. So do we have this one, serial monogamy, generally? మా దగ్గర ఏంటంటే ఒకసారి లైక్ ఇఫ్ వైఫ్ ఆర్ హస్బెండ్ ఎక్స్పైర్స్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ టు ఎ గ్రేటర్ ఎక్స్టెంట్ వీ వోంట్ మ్యారీ అగైన్ బట్ ఇట్ మే నాట్ బీ ఇన్ మెనీ కేసెస్ సో సీరియల్ మీన్స్ at any point of time you will be having one wife or one husband, but if there is any death or divorce, things like that, you can marry one. And another is non-serial monogamy. Non-serial monogamy means once for all, only one partner. You won't be marrying again even if they die. That is the one. Next is polygamy. Here in this you have got two important and major branches, polygyny. Polygyny and polyandry. Polygyny means many wives. Clear? Polyandry means many husbands. So polygynandry means, so here both husband and wives will be many. I'll come to that. So polygyny means many wives. Then here sororal polygyny. Non-sororal means many wives are there. If those wives are sisters, so please keep the term sisters. If those wives are sisters, then it is said to be sororal polygyny. If they are not sisters, then non-sororal polygyny. Similarly, polyandry. Polyandry. So can you guess what may be this? Fraternal polyandry means so here a man is marrying group of sisters. Here what may be the thing? Group of brothers. That's it. Fraternal polyandry. Non-fraternal polyandry. Then polygynandry. Here a man can marry more than one woman. At the same time, women can marry more than one husband. So it's a complex form of thing which is generally present in some tribal communities. Are all the things here clear to you? Any doubt? So దీనికి ఏమంటే examples. Example is a small one, we can add all these things. So why I am not giving is that you shouldn't be confused. Okay. Then rules of marriages. So here prescriptive, preferential, and another one you have to add proscriptive. Proscriptive means opposing. So prescriptive, endogamy. So can you say one prescription where there is a prescription that you should marry within? Can you give an example? Caste endogamy. So we should be marrying within the caste, within the tribe, within the religion. Hexogamy, outside. Northern part of India, people are not allowed to marry within the village. They have to marry someone outside the village. That is exogamy. Then preferential marriages, parallel cousin marriages, cross cousin marriages, just levirate marriage, sororate marriage, uncle niece marriage. So here parallel cousin marriages. So what do you understand by parallel cousin marriages? Okay. Say for example, father, their children, these are said to be parallel cousins. Clear? Why parallel? Here the sex is same. Similarly, fathers and father's brother. I made this wrong. Father's brother. Here mother's sister. So their children are said to be parallel cousins. What is cross cousin? Cross cousin is that. So father's sister. So their children. Father's sister children will be said to be cross cousins. So here the sex is different. Similarly, mother's brother. So here for cross cousin marriages, most preferred is so it's a very important acronym. You should be keeping this. Mabrada and Fasida. Mother's brother's daughter. What is he called? Daughter. Ante? Mother's brother's daughter. In Telugu, what is it called? Menakodalu. So preferred, right? Father's sister's daughter. No, same aithe chelli aitaru. So here we take cross cousins as sisters and brothers. Parallel cousins. Cross cousins as most preferred. Are the things clear or you got confused? So in Hindu society, parallel cousins are said to be brothers. My father's brothers. So వాళ్ళ name ఉంటాము మనము like brothers and sisters. My father's sister, cross cousins, most preferred for marriage, like that, right? Levirate, sororate, right? So here, this is with respect to the person who has died. Say for example, I am there. When I die, if my wife has to marry my brother, that is one type. Similarly, say for example, I have. If my wife dies, I should marry her sister. That is said to be sororate. Clear? So here, if my wife dies, I have to marry my wife's sister. This is the one. If I die, my wife has to marry my brothers. That is said to be levirate. Then uncle-niece marriage. So uncle-niece means sister's daughter. Right? So any confusion in this? So take this diagram too. Just take like in 1 or 2 minutes you should be writing. Just take a like schematical one. Okay, done with. So these are the things. So civilization. So what is civilization? When did civilization begin? Alphabets and writing. So civilization is considered to be a stage in culture. Clear? So culture proceeds, culture grows. So after certain point, we say that the culture has turned into civilization. Say for example, like in the lifespan of an individual. So when will a person become an adult? So after like 15, 18 years like that. Similarly here, culture should pass through certain stages. After that one, a stage will be reached that is said to be civilization. That is the thought of some of the thinkers. The beginning happened with alphabet. Some scholars distinguish culture from civilization and consider civilization as a peak of the development of culture. Peak of the development or in the last stages of development of culture. Mean to say that simple societies or primitive man, they have not yet reached to the level of civilization. Civilization is not just the stage, the peak, top, the last one, you can say, in the culture. That means, so here in civilization we have got civil social organization. But in tribes we have got kinship organization. If you take simple societies, all the things will be based on family, lineage, clan. You take any tribesman. So here the whole political system will be revolving around the family and marriage. But in civilization you will be having civil social organization, means which is not based on kinship. Clear? So another important aspect in civilization is here the organizations, especially the political organizations, are not based on marriage and family, marriage and blood relation. Here you have got civil social relation, right? One of the very well known anthropologists, E.B. Tylor and also L.H. Morgan, they considered civilization as the developed stage, means the apex, the climax of culture. And they said that society passed through these three successive stages. According to Tylor and Morgan, society passed through three stages. One is savagery, another is barbarism, and another is civilization. So very important, this is a very important fundamental basic thing in the evolution thought. Evolution thought pioneered by Tylor and Morgan. They say that the society what we have has evolved stage by stage. So all the societies were having savagery first, then barbarism came, then we have got civilization. Clear? Civilization is characterized by invention of alphabet and writing. All human societies have culture and civilization is one form of culture. Any doubt in this one? So how to represent this, if at all, if you want to represent in a Venn diagram? So try to represent culture and civilization in Venn diagram. Please try it. So I'll give the analogy also. Say for example here, dogs, animal. So what is the meaning here? All dogs are animals. Can we say with this Venn diagram? Because it is within. But all animals are not dogs. So you can have the same here. Say for example cat. All cats are animals? but all animals are not cats. Similarly, how with respect to civilization and culture? So you can put this has civilization and this, sorry, this has culture and this has civilization. But here most importantly, in this, civilization is the apex of culture. Okay. So introduction of alphabet created remarkable changes in all the areas of human life. How? Why? Alphabets had a remarkable influence on the humankind. So what is culture? Characteristic of culture, major thing is it should be passed on from one generation to another. Right? Now it is very easy when you have got alphabets, when you have got writings. You can pass on the information from generation to generation very easily. Okay? So UPSC essay questions. See here, now we have discussed some of the concepts related to society, culture, civilization. So this is a 2020 UPSC essay question paper. Just try to understand those things, and very important, very important, the important thing which I am telling, if there is very important thing in this class, then that is the thing. What is that? Please by heart this 2020 essay questions. I repeat, please by heart 2020 essay questions, because from 2020 the type of essays completely changed. They are very subjective, they are abstract. Previously there used to be like, what are the functions of World Bank, non-alignment movement, NATO, employment, education, women empowerment. This was the subject matter of essays. From 2020, from the very beginning, 2020, things have become abstract. So the basis for all the questions is 2020. Afterwards 21, 22, 23, 25. Just remember all the 5-year questions, you can guess mains questions. They are completely having links. So now just go through these things. Life is a long journey between being human being and being human. You should be trying to write, first to begin with, you should write the meaning. So go home and try to write the meaning. First on your own. Use your all knowledge, all the things. Then afterwards you can refer to internet. Is the point clear to you? First you should try to write what is the meaning. This is a very important 250 marks. Not a simple one. Your life breaks or makes in UPSC with 3 things. OS, optional subject, ethics and essay. These are the only areas where students are getting marks. If you don't get good marks in optional, ethics and essay, you are out of the top list. You may be getting some service, but you won't be getting top services. So you should master them. So how to master them? Read those questions daily. So optionals you can later, they are different, concrete, anta akkarledu, but it is there. But with respect to ethics, with respect to essay, you should be by hearting even the questions. These are very abstract. Meer enta prepare aithe kuda, if you don't have that linking, you cannot write. Mindful manifesto is the catalyst of a tranquilent self. So here one thing, if you don't know Hindi, it becomes very, very difficult. This is a very important one. The same thing in Hindi is very simple. Most of the people won't understand the things. Say, let me share my own experience. Long before, like 2009 or 10, there was a question. Mining in tribal areas. Okay, there should be moratorium on mining in tribal areas. That was the essay question. So what is the meaning of that? Moratorium on mining in tribal areas. Did you get the question 100%? So why I said this is the problem I also faced. I was a student of anthropology, but I was not knowing the meaning of moratorium. Means temporary ban. If I would have known the meaning of that moratorium, I would have written a good essay and I would have got a rank. I was not aware of the meaning. So here the people who know Hindi better, they have got the advantage. And in my opinion, this is a very unfair practice and UPSC should stop. See, if you are writing in Telugu medium, you will be referring the same. So if you are writing in Hindi medium also, you should be referring to only one. We have got technology. They are talking about 3 language principle. Then let there be 3 languages. Is it difficult? Or otherwise, remove all. Let there be only one. మనము తెలుగులో రాస్తే, కన్నడలో రాస్తే, మలయాళంలో రాస్తే, or any language, will be having same question paper. So even someone is writing in Hindi, let them have only one. See, I just showed you the example. Think, I was not able to comprehend. I am a student of anthropology. So you have to read at least questions regularly, so that you will have a fair understanding of the keywords. Meaning మీకు తెలుస్తుంది. Ships don't sink because of water around them. Ships sink because water that gets into them. So are you able to comprehend this one? Ships never sink because of water. In ocean you have got lot of water. Do the ships sink in water? Generally, no. But it sinks because of water that gets into the ship, any hole or anything like that. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So what I request is, from now on, 2020 take as the base. See how the UPSC question paper setter has evolved from this one. 21 లో ఎలాగొచ్చాయి, 23 లో ఎలాగొచ్చాయి, 24 లో ఎలాగొచ్చాయి. So that too, take only section A first in this, or section B. Here section B is more abstract, more subjective. Section B is somehow, some or the other way you can relate to the day-to-day life. Now this is the one. Culture is what we are. What is culture? Culture is way of life. So can you write this one? Culture is what we are. Way of life mean to say what we are. Civilization is what we have. So here civilization is with respect to the development of the culture, the peak of the culture. So here they are adding the materialistic aspects also. Okay, there can be no social justice without economic prosperity, but economic prosperity without social justice is a meaningless one. It's a simple, direct one. Social, economic and political. Women empowerment. How is women empowerment possible? Social, economical and political. Is there empowerment possible without money? That is the one. Social justice without economic prosperity. Samajika nyayam without money. Is it possible? Think that you don't have any money. Even for 10 rupees you have to ask someone. Will you have empowerment? Not possible. On the other hand, think the other situation. Economic prosperity is there, but without social justice, you are thought to be a very, very inferior being in the society, downtrodden. Then it becomes meaningless. Patriarchy is the least noticed yet most significant structure of social inequality. Inequality is the term here. In that patriarchy is concentration. This is directly can be answered by ethics and your anthropology. So anthropology, with anthropological knowledge you can answer most of the questions. And the other day I was telling, technology as a salient factor in the international relations. Is this happening now? Technology as a salient factor in international relations. Yes, it is happening. Why we want to go with America or Western countries? The major reason is only technology. Because Chinese don't have the latest technology what these Western powers have. If that would have been the thing, our relations would have been completely different. So here, the last one, social inequalities. In that, they said that patriarchy is a form of social inequality. So all these things will be covered in our anthropology. So this is 2020 question paper. Please go home and try to analyze this as much as possible and interlink this to 21. In my opinion, most of the questions in essay can be answered through anthropological knowledge. Okay? So this is the concept culture and society, the concept of culture, civilization, ethnocentrism, cultural relativism, concept of society, concept of culture, social institution, groups and stratification. So here moving forward, basic characteristic of human society. So society ante em untayi? What are the things which will be present in a society? People, very good. Then culture, very good. So people ekkada untaru? Where do people live? Oka area lo untara definite or earth? That's it. Inte ma anthropology li kuda. It's all about you. So coming to the characteristics, these are the things. Society is always made of people. Where do people live? In a definite territory. These people have culture. These are the three most important things. Inta raste meeku chalu. If at all, if you want to add, you can add one more. Society is a permanent, independent, integrated group. So this group is not transient, permanent ga untundi. Integrated, the people in them are integrated and interrelated to one another. So the term permanent, independent, integrated group. Then still some say that members are recruited by reproduction, not migration. So reproduction, then members commonly speak a language which is generally not understood by others. So here these are the four things. First four are accepted by most anthropologists. The other two, some anthropologists say that. Right? What are the features of society without seeing the board? People, territory, culture. Afterwards, they are integrated, interrelated, and you can add your own terms which comes in this way. Then the next one is recruited by reproduction and they have got common language. So మీరు మీ షార్ట్ నోట్స్లో కూడా ఇలాగే ఉండాలి. Your very very short notes should have like this. Society ante inta. Just some 6 points, key points, enough. Any difficulty with this? Any confusion? Okay. Concept of society, coming to that, essence of society is social relations and social behavior. So say for example, think that there are some people waiting for bus. That is just an aggregate because they are not related to one another. Is the point clear to you? Think that there is a festival, Jatra. Do you understand the term Jatra? Kumbh Mela. So people are there in Kumbh Mela. Can we call them as society? The answer is no. Why? They are not interrelated. The essence of society is social relations and social behavior. Is the point clear to you? Key terms, social relations and social behavior. Society is composed of people they interact with each other on the basis of some shared behavior. So our interaction is based on shared behavior, and this is a network of relationship between the individual. So the essence of society is social relationship and social behavior. This social behavior shared by the members is known as culture. Society is composed of people who are interacting on the basis of shared beliefs, values, and activities. Society is guided by norms and values. What are values? Values, maulyalu. One keyword. Write down. Values are those which are important. Worth, preference. Just 3 keywords. This is useful for your society, paper 1, and also ethics, paper 4, GS4. Values is equal to important. If it is important to you, it becomes your value. If it is important to organization, organization value. Have you wrote down? Values is equal to important. Other 2 words, if at all, if you want to add, worth. Write down worth and preference. Preference. Something which is having worth, something which you prefer. Then what are norms? Norms, only one line. Unwritten rules of society. We have got constitution, laws, rules and regulations. They are written. So norms are unwritten rules of society. Right? So say for example, generally men won't be wearing women's dresses. ఇక్కడ ఎవరైనా అబ్బాయి ఆర్ మెన్ శారీ వేసుకు వస్తారా? ఎవరైనా వేసుకు వస్తే వాళ్ళని ఏమైనా చంపేస్తారా? If someone wears saree, if I wear saree and tomorrow come, will someone beat me? Will there be any complaint? But why am I not doing that? Why I am not doing that? Not value. Value పక్కన ఇంకొకటి ఉంది. Norms. They are the unwritten rules of the society. Right? Are you getting the point? They are unwritten, but they are followed generally. అది మనం బ్రేక్ చేస్తే ఏమి లైక్ పెద్ద ఇది ఏమి ఉండదు, బట్ యూ విల్ బీ పర్సీవ్డ్ యాజ్ డిఫరెంట్. That makes a very big difference. If you go up in the society, at the elite group, it won't, but at the lower group, it matters a lot. Say for example, there is a village. In that, just a gossiping is enough. అతను అలాగంట ఇలాగంట, విలేజ్లో డైరెక్ట్లో అడిగేస్తారు, ఏం చేస్తున్నావు బడుగు, ఊరికే ఇంట్లో కూర్చున్నావు, వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ చేస్తున్నానంటే డైరెక్ట్గా చెప్పేస్తారు, నాకు తెలుసులే నువ్వు ఊరికే పని లేక ఉన్నావు, ఊరికే చెప్తున్నావు. బట్ ఇన్ సిటీస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మోర్ కాస్మోపాలిటన్. అలాగుండదు. యుల్ బీ స్టేయింగ్ విత్ యువర్ నైబర్స్, యూ వోంట్ బి స్పీకింగ్ టు దెమ్, దే వోంట్ బి స్పీకింగ్ టు యూ. So they are entirely different things. So coming to the topic here, society is guided by norms and values. అంటే ఎలాగుండాలి, ఏం చేస్తారు, all these things is determined by values and norms. And these values and norms are enforced through institutions. So the society execute these norms and values through family, marriage, religion, among other social institutions. So why the social institutions? To enforce norms and values of the society. Okay. Society and culture. So what is the relation between society and culture, which we discussed? Society, like culture, is way of life. Can there be culture without society? Can there be society without culture? So that's it. So the same thing here. Here, law of Litton says that society is an organized group of individuals. What is society? Organized group of individuals who are related to one another. A culture is a group, organized group of learnt responses. So please internalize the differences. Society is group of individuals. Culture is group of learnt responses. Culture is learnt responses, characteristics of a particular society. So learnt responses, nothing but way of living. Another famous definition, culture is the way of life of the people, while a society is an organized, interacting aggregate of individuals who follow a given way of life. Then next, society is the web of social relations. So these are some of the definitions. So you should be having a fair idea about these definitions. Society and culture. Society is always made up of people. The way they behave is culture. So కొంచెమైనా కాన్సెప్చువల్ క్లారిటీ వచ్చిందా సొసైటీ అండ్ కల్చర్ అంటే? సింపుల్. వాట్ ఈస్ సొసైటీ? గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్. The way of life of these people, distinct way of life, is culture. Right? Society is not a culture, but it has a culture. Society is not culture, but it has got culture. Culture is a product of society. Culture refers to material aspects as well as ideas, meanings, knowledge people share. So material and also non-material aspects like ideas, knowledge, customs, traditions, etc. Society and culture are two sides of the same coin. So please elaborate the meaning of two sides of the same coin. What do you mean by that? In general, not concerning this. Meaning enti? Two sides of the coin. Imagine a coin. Think that is a 10 rupee coin. If I divide that and if I give, will it have 5 rupee value? Are you getting me? So when the two faces come together, then only it will be having completeness, wholeness, meaning. If they are separated, it is not a coin at all. Will you accept a coin which is having only one face? So are you getting the meaning of two faces of the same coin? Mean to say, when it has got meaning, wholeness, completeness, only when two faces come. If they are apart, there is nothing meaningful, no meaning for either side. That is the meaning. When you say something is two faces of a coin, means that they have got meaning, they have got value, they have got worth only when they are together. If they are separated, there is no value, there is no worth, there is no meaning, there is no entity itself. Is the concept clear to you? So what is the meaning of two faces of the coin? Ante enti? You have got meaning, completeness, everything only when they are together. If they are separated, no value. It's of no use, no worth. Same here. The emphasis on one over the another tradition is the one which gave rise to two traditions. One is social anthropology and another is cultural anthropology. Social anthropology by British tradition, cultural anthropology by American tradition. So what is the American tradition of cultural anthropology ante enti? What is cultural anthropology? American tradition? They say that culture is more important than society. So they gave more importance or major significance to culture. That is cultural anthropology. What is social anthropology? They gave more importance to primacy to society. Clear? So that is the difference. Okay. So gather, aggregates. So aggregates ku society ku em difference untundi? Think that some people are waiting to board the bus stand. Bus stand kuda chala mandi untaru kada. MGBS chala mandi untaru. Sometimes more than the number of people present in small village. So can we call that aggregate as a society? The reason is no. Why? They don't have social behavior. They don't interact with each other. They're strangers. Clear? So any gathering is not a social group. Definitely they may be in a definite place. Passengers waiting at a railway station, airport, bus stand or certain cinema audience are examples of aggregates. Such aggregates are often termed as quasi-groups, not a group. Okay? So if you have got any doubt, please let me know. So have you been given this PPTs, those things? Okay, today I will be sharing. To whom to share? Surya. Okay, I will be sharing to Surya sir. So if you have got any doubt or anything, you can contact me anytime. Okay. Enjoy your preparation. If you enjoy your preparation, success is yours. Are you enjoying your preparation? You have to intentionally. Over a period of time, it will be there. I understand how difficult it is preparing. It's not that easy. But at the same time, you have got the liberty. మీరు పొద్దునే లేసి ఆఫీస్కి పోవాలి. No timing for you. But you shouldn't misuse that flexibility. If you read properly, definitely you will be getting very good marks and you will be getting very good position. So enjoy the process. Success will be for sure. Thank you.